Thank you for joining us once again for your update from the city of New Hope. Let's chat once again with the mayor, John Elder, to find out what is new and what is upcoming in the city. Welcome, Mayor. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Dave. Glad to be here.
We have a lot to talk about. We've got a work session coming up as we're recording this evening on Monday, the 16th. But before we begin, we want to touch on some of the unfortunate activities that have happened in this area over the past weekend. And I know, Mayor Elder, you were involved in many ways with your roles throughout the community. Give us your thoughts at this point on this Monday.
Yeah, this was truly tragic, and the loss of Speaker Emeritus Hortman and her husband Mark, with their murder, as well as the shooting of Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette in front of their daughter. Um, Tragic, truly, truly tragic. And you've heard me say before that we live in smaller communities. And when we have any sort of a large incident, everybody pulls together. And it is incredible to not only see it, but to be a part of it when these things happen. Our SWAT team that is comprised of members of New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale Police Department, they were active all weekend, and they were active out at the Hortman residence, and then throughout the weekend, not only assisting the state and federal agencies with the investigation, but as numerous agencies throughout the metro and the Tri-County area responded down to Sleepy Eye, or down to Green Isle, excuse me, for the search and arrest of the suspect. Our SWAT team stayed behind and assisted other agencies. We were asked if we would go down to Egan to handle a barricaded subject, and we did handle another incident in Maple Grove. And so their Plymouth Maple Grove SWAT team was down in Green Isle, and our officers were covering for them. So we had officers that assisted with dignitary protection at homes of our legislators until we were able to get this wrapped up. We utilized other agencies to help us with this in New Hope. And it was everybody coming together and everybody working side by side. And it was great to see that there wasn't the territorial boundaries and, hey, this is my call or this is my jurisdiction. Just everybody worked together. And within 43 hours, we found somebody who was quite a distance away from the area of the crime, and just absolutely remarkable work. I could not be more proud of the New Hope Police Department and all the agencies that were involved, not only from the start, but all the way through those 43 hours while we worked diligently to get this suspect into custody.
And I can imagine many discussions to happen now after this weekend. What do you predict those will look like? What types of things are we already learning and might be discussed for how cities prepare themselves for things like this in the future?
Back in January of, I believe it was 2015, we had a shooting at our council meeting. And that tragedy brought about all new conversations about city council meeting security, school board security meetings, all of these public meetings. And it brought up something that we all kind of thought about in the back of our minds. Well, what if? And because what if happened, now there are a lot of questions and a lot of things and a lot of planning that should be done. And I look forward to working with our staff at the police department, our city manager, as well as neighboring mayors and city councils and their police departments to really find out what this additional or new security measures are going to look like. I don't know what they're going to be, but it's a lot of good minds will get together and try to figure out what's the best way to do this. And um, I believe we'll get it done.
Well, certainly more to come as we follow the developments throughout the coming weeks and months. A lot to be talked
Yeah.
about. Let's now move ahead to the council and some of the things that are coming up. We've got a work session coming up this Monday, and we wanted to take a minute to give a quick overview. Lots of agenda items tonight on the work session. It sounds like you're going to be
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah, this is going to be a later night, and that's great. We start out with a dialogue between the city council and the personnel board. The personnel board are a number of residents that have the HR and work in the HR field, and they assist in the certification of any employee that's hired by the city of New Hope. And applicants have to meet with the personnel board as one of their final interviews before they go off to the city manager. And because they deal with this stuff 40 hours a week, they do an incredible job looking at not only the person's ability to do the job, but really if it's a fit. And so we will meet with them this evening, hear about how things have gone over the past year, and look to see what they need to continue to be successful.
Mhm.
So we really appreciate all of their work and the time they donate. They donate their time to the city. They don't get
Mhm.
compensated for this. So
Right.
we appreciate them. We'll then move on to accepting a certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. There was a time many years ago where our financial reporting was less than desirable. And for that reason, we brought in ABDO. They are the consultant company we hire to run through and do our financial stuff. And we are getting this excellence in financial reporting award. This will be our 15th or 16th year straight of getting it. Um, it not by coincidence, 15 or 16 years ago is when Abdo came in to start
Mhm.
working with the city. They do a remarkable job, and so we're thankful to them for keeping us out of trouble.
Mhm.
We'll then talk about the 2024 audit and comprehensive annual financial report that Abdo turned into the state. And there were no findings of fact and really nothing that we really got gigged on. So
Mhm.
again, it's showing that we're doing things right financially in New Hope, and that's hugely important. And tying into the next, we will start our preliminary discussion on the 2026 budget. We will work on this for the next 7 months. Uh, by mid-December, we have to turn in our information to the county and the state as far as what our tax levies will be. And between now and then, we will meet with every single director in the city from each of the departments to find out what they need, what they're asking for, and help set their budget. So um, we will then move on to an agreement we have with the Robbinsdale area schools uh, over the Meadow Lake pickleball courts user agreement that has expired. So it's time for us to re-up that discussion and make sure that agreement's working properly.
Mhm.
Then we will get a short presentation from Parks and Rec on the Sandburg Middle School facility use agreement. We have a gymnasium at Sandburg Middle School, the Sandburg Junior High when I was there,
Mhm.
but Sandburg Middle School. And That gym is solely set up and used by the New Hope Gymnastics Club.
Right.
And so we rent that space from them annually. Personally, I would like to see a bigger space, but I will tell you, community development has worked really diligently to try to find another space, and it's very, very difficult to
Hmm.
find something in the city of New Hope that is going to keep the program affordable and would have enough space and wouldn't be a drain on the city. So
Hmm.
we'll be getting a presentation on that. Next, we'll be discussing who the benefactors will be for the Minneapolis Chamber Golf Outing in September.
Hmm.
Happens every year. And I'd love to go to that event. That's one of the few golf events I actually get out to. Um, Not because I don't like to golf. It's just I'm not good. And then we will wrap up the night with a draft coverage for the Center for Energy and Environmental Subordination Policy for New Hope loans. And so we will be discussing the loans that are a pass through for the city of New Hope that we give out to residents that meet the qualifications. So it's a long night, but it's a good night. It's so filled with information, and that's really what these work sessions are meant to be. People will watch a council meeting, and something will come up, and the council will vote on it. And people have said, "Geez, there's really not a lot of discussion to about purchasing a tractor for
Hmm.
$68,000 or whatever it is." And people need to understand that we've already met and discussed this, and we can't do any business at a work session. We can't do votes. We can just have this conversation, and these are open to the public. And so, if the public wants to come in, sit down, and listen in at a work session, that's great. Visitors don't get speaking, so people can't ask questions or do things like that, but they can certainly reach out to me after the council work session with questions.
Hmm.
So this is really where we're doing the meat of our work for direction for the city. So that's our night tonight.
All right, it'll be a full night, a full agenda there. And speaking of full things, we have a full week of activities in the city of New Hope. So let's just spend a minute here. And again, depending when you're watching this update, you may miss some of these activities, but try to get out there and get involved. What's coming up this week, Mayor?
Well, we kicked off the end of last week with Tot Time at the New Hope Aquatic Park, which was very well attended, and it's just a great time to get tots into the water and used to the water.
Hmm.
So they had a lot of enjoyable things there. Tonight, as I stated, there's a city council work session at 6:30. The council and city staff have dinner beforehand at 6. And the rule is there's no conversation about business while we're there. So
Uh-huh.
we talk about our houses, we talk about sporting events, we talk about our families, we talk about everything but work
Hmm.
because that would be violating the open meeting law.
Sure.
And believe me, everybody sticks to that rule.
Very
So, and if
good.
we don't, the city manager or certainly the city clerk would remind us to not do that. So
Hmm.
on the 18th at 10:30 a.m. until 11:15, there's family story time in the park at the New Hope Performance Center. They're going to be doing Rapunzel. So that's always they do such great work there. June 19th all day we have the New Hope Farmers Market. No, strike that. We Thursday we have the Juneteenth
Right.
so City Hall offices will be closed.
Hmm.
That afternoon from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., we have the New Hope Farmers Market. And excited to see that going on and growing. And that's at the New Hope Church at 4225 Gettysburg Avenue North.
Hmm.
And on the 20th, Friday, we have Food Truck Friday at City Hall in the parking lot at City Hall. And we will have 5 or 6 food trucks there. So people from the surrounding area, as well as City Hall, anybody who wants to can come in and enjoy food from a food truck at your own expense,
Mhm.
and just meet and talk to other people.
Yeah.
So it's those are great. And then Saturday and Sunday all day we have the New Hope citywide garage sale event,
Mhm.
and that is a listing of where all the garage sales are in the city, at least the ones that registered. And so that's that information is on the city website. So packed week ahead of us,
Yes.
and that's what your city should be. Your city should have a great deal of offerings to really apply to intergenerational interests. And so we're happy to be doing all these things.
Yeah, definitely. Mission accomplished. You mentioned the website newhopemn.gov. You see it at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to check out some of those dates and times, make sure you can get there. Please do look at that site. Let's move ahead to community development. A quick update here, and one we want to mention once again. We've been telling you about this for a number of weeks. Get your nominations in for the Rave Awards. So remind us again what that competition is or that process is.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, absolutely. The RAVE Award is a program that recognizes the efforts of residential property owners who contribute time and resources to maintaining or improving their residential properties within the city. People can nominate others uh, until July 25th. So if you see somebody who's really doing an incredible job with their lawn, their landscaping, their house, whatever it is, please get them nominated for this Rave Award. And we will be presenting those awards, I believe, in September.
Moving on in community development, it's time for a few photos for you. The scattered site housing program is as busy as ever, and we've got some residents to show you right now. First is 4220 and 22 Nevada Avenue North. What is the update here, Mayor?
Yeah, the framing of the new home on the south lot is progressing. And the photos that are attached are showing this. Exceptional Home and Remodeling is listing both of these homes at $579,000, 579,900 to be exact.
Mhm, mhm.
And we have been seeing homes go for more than asking price. So we ended up with a very large, we started out with a very large lot with
Right.
a smaller dilapidated home. And we were able to purchase that and split the lot because it was large enough. And we've got two beautiful homes going in on that property.
Next property to touch on, more framing happening at 5410 Zealand. Tell us about that home that's coming up quickly.
Yep, that home has the framing all completed. The roof has been installed, and they continue to work on the interior. And we're really looking forward to seeing the finished product on this home. This is going to be a very, very nice home.
Let's hop over to Virginia Avenue, 5437, and this one is a little bit further ahead in the process. They're already getting the lawn put in, and I understand the selling process is happening.
Yep, the home is actually sold. It sold for $100 shy of 600,000. So $599,900 is what it sold for. The individuals are living there now. I've been through the home. It's gorgeous. And sod just got installed, and the people bought it in April and are moved in, and I bet they're very happy to have a lawn now.
I bet they
So
are.
yeah, so
Just in
it's
time for the heat, right?
right, right, and all the rain we're getting. So
Hmm.
this is another success story of the scattered site housing program.
Final property to touch on, 6048 Quebec Avenue, and this is at the other end of the spectrum. This is just getting started in the process. Where are we here?
Yeah, I just drove by there the other day, actually last week, and the demolition of the residence has occurred. And so we're really excited to have that be done. That was a problem property for quite some time, and the home was in deplorable shape. City was able to get it, and the demolition has occurred. There's submissions by four different builders for that lot, and those will be presented to the EDA, the Economic Development Authority, on June 23rd at their meeting. So we're glad to see that house gone.
Next, let's hop to the police department. Three quick items to update you on here. And the first is some special guests that appeared at a recent city council meeting, some
Yeah.
cadets that are working with the city.
Yeah, the city of New Hope is working with a company called Inclusive, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. I do remember the program, and the
Hmm.
program is GTO, or Growth Through Opportunity.
Right.
And these are individuals that have some form of special needs, whether it be physical, cognitive processing. And we have two of them. The two of the individuals going through the program, and they will be with the city of New Hope for a series of weeks coming up, learning what it's like to have a job, learning how you behave at work, how you do a job. And it really is a great stepping stone for them to be able to move forward in uh, progressing in life.
Hmm.
And so the city is doing it. They will be working with every single division in the city. And it's a great program. And we were one of the beginning cities to do this in our
Hmm.
area. And we're seeing other cities are now following suit and
Right.
having GTO programs. And so it's wonderful.
Welcome to the cadets, and something they might help out with in the police department is Meals on Wheels, maybe an experience of delivering meals, and that continues on with the police staff.
Absolutely. Reserve Officer Munson did the Meals on Wheels this week. And this is such a great program where the police department sends somebody up to SEEP, where they get the meals that are all ready and all prepared. And they deliver the meals to people that aren't able to get out on their own to get food.
Mhm.
And so it gets delivered by a person in uniform in a Mark Squad car, and this is just a great community engagement and supporting the community program that Chief Hoyt has really embraced and continued to move forward in.
Final note in the police department, police reported incidents. Give us that number for this weekend, what the police department had been seeing.
You bet. The numbers are down this week. We had 520 police-related incidents June 5th through the 11th. And so those numbers are down. No real explanation for why that would be. But we know that those numbers ebb and flow. And, when we have really great weather, those numbers go up. So
Mhm.
it's just our way of tracking year over year, week to week, really how we're doing, and it's part of, do we have enough staff to do this? And right now, these numbers of staff, uh, they're hardworking folks, and they are handling all their calls while still being very active in community engagement
Mhm.
and still doing the proactive things we expect them to do, like traffic stops and checking on abandoned vehicles and things like that.
All right, let's move ahead to Park and Rec. Last couple minutes of our update today, tell you a few things that are going on, and we've got more classes, as always, of things for people to do. And this week, an assortment of everything from horseback riding to music to cooking, all sorts of things, Mayor, we can get involved in.
Again, when I mentioned this earlier, you want to have intragenerational activities, things that appeal to the young, things that appeal to the old, and everything in between. And we have classes for gymnastics, soccer, adult pickleball lessons, martial arts for kids, taekwondo, horseback riding lessons, music together, free demos, campfire cooking, junior police academy, the community tripsters. They actually sent a group up to the Mille Lacs for a fishing excursion.
Very
So
neat.
it's our parks and recs work so closely with other cities' parks and recs, and the quality of their programming shows it.
Mhm.
And we have an incredibly dedicated group in our Parks and Rec, and they're delivering to the community. So our sincere thanks to them.
Yeah, get out there and get involved. Again, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov, and search Parks and Recreation. You can find out about all of those classes and things that are going on, and also about music in the park. That continues now that the weather's nice and the entertainment plaza is a great place to go. What did we see in the past? And again, many more to come.
Absolutely. We had the Bazillions play at the Performance Center this last week, and we had over 100 people there. And again, when we put on these programs and they're well received, it tells us the community likes it and they appreciate it. And if they don't, we hope they'll tell us.
Mhm.
And so it's been a ton of fun. And as you can see from the things I highlighted earlier, we continue to use our performance center for all sorts of things. It's a community owned property,
Mhm.
and we should be using that. And the Parks and Rec certainly is.
They are indeed. And as the mayor mentioned earlier at the beginning of this update, the story time, family story time is happening this week on the 18th, 10:30 in the morning. So all ages having some fun at the Performance Center. Well, Mayor, thank you once again for the update, taking some time with us today. Have a great week, and we will see you again next week.
Dave, thank you so much. Have a great week, sir.
You as well. And stick with us. Here's an update of some of the things that are happening in the community. For more city stories, check out ccxmedia.org or find us on social media.